There was a woman in the hills of Carmel. Her name was Abigail. She was wise, she was kind, and her beauty ran deeper than what eyes could see. But she was married to a man named Nabal, harsh, foolish, proud. He had wealth beyond measure, flocks, servants, land, but no grace, no honor, and no fear of God. One day, a group of rugged strangers approached their estate. They were messengers from David, a man on the run, anointed to be king, but not yet crowned. David and his men had protected Nabal's shepherds in the wilderness. Now they humbly asked for food during the feast. But Nabal, he mocked them. He laughed. He sent them away empty. When the word reached David, something inside him ignited. He rose from the fire, sword in hand. His men followed, 400 strong, and he vowed, "Before this day ends, Nabal's house will fall." But Abigail heard, and without a word to her husband, she acted. With calm urgency, she filled baskets with bread, wine, figs, and meat. She loaded donkeys, she called servants, and she rode out alone, into the valley, into danger, into destiny. As the sun rose over the hills, she met David face to face. She dismounted, she bowed low, and with gentle, humble words, she stood between her foolish husband and a future king. "My lord," she said, "let this blame fall on me. Please, forgive his offense. The Lord will make you a lasting dynasty. Don't stain your hands with blood today." And David stopped. His sword lowered. His heart softened. He looked at her and said, "Blessed be your wisdom, and blessed be you, who kept me from disaster." Later, Nabal learned what had happened, and within days, he was gone. Struck down not by David, but by the hand of God. And when David heard, he remembered the woman who brought peace. He sent for her. And Abigail, wise and willing, became his wife. Not because she fought, but because she listened. Not because she shouted, but because she spoke with honor. Not because she stood tall, but because she bowed low. And in doing so, she saved her household, she honored her God, and she stepped into something greater. She wasn't famous, she wasn't a prophet, she wasn't a queen. She was a woman, living quietly in the hill country of Judah. Her name was Abigail, and what set her apart wasn't her position, it wasn't her wealth, it wasn't even her beauty, it was her wisdom. A quiet, spirit-led wisdom that turned away wrath, that saved a household, that honored God. This morning we sit in the presence of the Lord and say, "God, give me wisdom." Not just information, not just knowledge, but wisdom, the kind that only heaven gives. So before we rush into the noise of today, before the opinions of others drown out the voice of truth, let's walk slowly through the story of a woman God used, because she knew when to speak, when to act, when to bow low, and when to stand firm. Before the world starts spinning, before the noise takes over, before your hands touch a screen, a schedule, or a problem, let your heart come here, right here, in the stillness, in the quiet, in the presence of the one who created wisdom itself. This morning, we're not asking for success. We're not asking for power. We're not asking for wealth. We're asking for something deeper, wisdom. Not just knowledge, not cleverness, not a better plan, but the wisdom of heaven, the kind that restores, redirects, and builds. So take a breath, lay down your burdens, and say with me, "God, give me wisdom." Have you ever faced a moment where you just didn't know what to do? You stood at the edge of a choice. You had options, none of them easy. You had pressure, but no peace. Maybe that's where you are this morning. Should I speak up or stay silent? Should I wait or move forward? Should I let go or hold on? These are not questions knowledge alone can answer. They require wisdom. And wisdom doesn't come from the crowd. It comes from the throne. God isn't confused by your situation. He isn't overwhelmed by your emotions. He knows the way forward. And he gives wisdom to those who ask, freely, without fault. James 1:5 says, "If anyone lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, and it will be given." Not might, not sometimes. It will be given. Wisdom isn't just for big decisions. It's for everyday relationships. Wisdom tells you when to speak, and when to stay silent, when to correct, and when to show grace, when to confront, and when to cover. Wisdom helps you respond to your children with patience. It helps you honor your spouse even when you're frustrated. It helps you navigate friendships, conflict, and communication without falling into offense. God's wisdom is gentle. It's full of mercy. It leads to peace. Do you need that today? Ask him. Proverbs 3:17 says, "Her ways are pleasant ways, and all her paths are peace." The wisdom that comes from above is not pushy. It's not arrogant. It's not self-serving. It seeks understanding. It yields to reason. It knows how to build bridges, not burn them. Maybe you're not confused about today, but uncertain about tomorrow? What's ahead? Where is God leading you? What's your next step? Wisdom gives clarity for the future. Not always the full picture, but just enough light for the next step. God's wisdom isn't loud. It whispers in the quiet. It moves in peace. It grows as you walk. You don't need to figure it all out right now. You just need to stay close to the one who holds the map. Pray like this: Lord, I don't need all the answers. I just need the wisdom to obey you today. Give me eyes to see what you see. Give me the courage to follow, even when it's unclear. Pressure will come. Life will squeeze you. People will test you. Stress will press in. And in those moments, you don't need reaction. You need wisdom. Abigail was under pressure. She didn't panic. She didn't lash out. She didn't collapse. She moved with intention. She spoke with clarity. She stood in peace. That's what wisdom looks like under pressure. So pray like this: Lord, when the pressure comes, be my center. Let wisdom rise before fear does. Let me think clearly, speak kindly, and act in faith. Let's take the next few minutes and just pray. Not rushed, not shallow, but deep, slow, honest. Breathe in and pray. Father, I need you. I need your voice above the noise, your truth above opinion, your direction above emotion. Give me wisdom. Wisdom to lead, wisdom to love, wisdom to listen. Speak into my spirit. Calm the chaos, clear the fog. Guard my heart. Make me wise like Abigail, quick to see, slow to speak, steady in storms. Make me wise like Jesus, humble, obedient, full of grace and truth. Let wisdom fill my words. Let wisdom guide my feet. Let wisdom shape my decisions. This day, let me walk in wisdom, not the world's version, but yours, in my home, in my work, in my soul. Be my wisdom, Lord. You promised to give it, so I receive it now, by faith. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you for being near. Thank you for your wisdom that never fails. In Jesus' name, amen.